Well, big day yesterday, Mark, Captain Risky as I like to call you. Mate, first time back for a long time. Boats completely had a big rebuild, new engine. You're just telling me it's very different.
Yeah, it is. We had a bit of an incident here a couple of years ago, and then the boat's been up to Razorcraft. Harry went all the way through it. New stringers, probably put a little bit of extra weight in there that we like. And then, now we got the new motor, the 250 on the back now. So yesterday it was good being out there, but we're sort of just trying to feel our way with it too, trying to find a bit of speed.
Yeah, mate, you said the boat feels very different to what it did with the other engine and before the rebuild.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we probably went down prop size a little bit low than we'd like to have been. It was revving a little bit harder than we wanted. So the last race we went up to a 23, started to get a bit better speed. The revs were a lot better, and then now it's just trying to drive it again, I suppose, like figure everything out.
How are the nerves, mate? This is the place where you went over last time. It's coming back to the old venue.
Yeah, my nerves are a little bit, especially on that corner one. If you want to pan over there, Laura's nerves are a little bit. She did all right at the end, but it's just trying to get back into it, mate. Like figuring it out, and we love being here. We love everyone. It's like a family thing, so it's good.
Mate, it's good to have you here. I mean, this is home territory for you, really. You live down this way. We're going to see you at more rounds throughout the season?
Yeah, we'd like to. Yeah, we figure get the boat sorted out properly, and then we don't want Harry to get away with it too much. But Adelaide too is going to be a good round. We'd like to get there, so we'll see how we go.
Don't give him anything for free, mate.
No, I'm not going to. No. I said I want to take this floor up and see what he's put in there. So, all right, too easy.
Good on you, mate. Well, Carl Wall, driver of the Sting, mate. The championship is on a knife's edge at the moment. It's all on. You dropped a couple of points yesterday.
Yeah, unfortunately. We did not have that perfect run for us. As some of you would have seen on the first corner, we had a bit of a hook. We got hooked up on one of the washers off the big boats, and she just dropped the sponson in and around. She went hard.
Well, mate, it's funny. I actually didn't see it or call it because DLR did the same thing. They were behind you on the pin and they did the same thing. And I caught them, but I didn't see you guys doing that. And then Mantis had to try and avoid you.
Yeah, they caught the other wash on the other side. So they did exactly what we did. And it was bloody good driving by Matt to get around us, make sure that he didn't hit us. And no, he did really good.
So was that the net result of that was why you were a little bit behind and couldn't make up that ground?
Yeah, it unsettles you and you just don't stick to your game plan and you're just overthinking everything from that point on, and it all goes downhill. So today we've just wiped it out of our heads. It's a new day, we'll get going, we'll go hard, and hopefully we'll get the win to level it back up again.
Both these boats are epic, mate. The Mantis going very well also, and Sting's very quick. It's really tight.
Oh yeah, there's nothing between us. You could almost get a paper from the cigarette between us. We're that close.
Fantastic, mate. Oh well, boats prepared, ready to go.
Yeah. We're now just trying to figure out which propeller to run because the wind comes up, the wind drops down. Do we go up a pitch? Do we go down a pitch? We just don't know until just before the race. With
a hook like that, is that something that you change something on the boat, or is it just one of those things?
I think we just didn't quite see the wake off the big boats because we're all coming hard into the corner and we're looking at each other and just missed that wake, and we just caught up on it and she just pulled us around and Mike's corrected and she just hooked.
Yeah, boats still look good, mate. I mean, it didn't really look like to me that it was going to go around. It just sort of railroaded a little bit.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like once it's going to go, it goes, and you just got to opposite lock. Hopefully she'll rebite, straighten yourself back up, which it did, and we just kept going. But yeah, it just unsettled both of us.
Good on you, mate. It's great to watch. Good luck today doing it for Lockie.
Always doing it for Lockie. Thanks, Bisho.
Well, I brought my step ladder out, mate, because whenever I interview you, I get a sore shoulder. But Mark Gilbert, how good is it to be back? And we're rapt to have you back.
Yeah, good, mate. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. A few issues we've had to get over the last 3 years, but we've surpassed those now. And the boat's back down here for Geelong. So we'll just see what races we're going to do this year, and just bring it back slowly.
And you've called in my old mate Simon Isherwood to help you out this weekend?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, Simon, great. We last minute phone call up. Lee Travascus was actually supposed to be in the boat this weekend, but he's unfortunately had a fall at home. So we're wishing all our best to Lee and the family up there. So we'll catch up with him when we get back home. But yeah, I rang Simon straight away. You know, running these boats, you've got to have experience next year, and obviously we would have had that with Lee. And grabbing Simon of the same calibre, I couldn't ask for more.
Fantastic to be back, mate. You've done a big rebuild on the boat. Just in a quick nutshell, what have you been doing with the boat?
Well, since the rollover back in 2015, basically the deck was cactus. So we spoke to our friends, Mr. Bill Barry Cotter, and he was lovely enough to lend us his mould, and we grafted a whole new Maritimo deck on it. So basically all new roll cage, all new windscreen, new deck. Obviously we had to source another set of engines, so we did that as well too. So it's been a bit of a mission, and obviously we couldn't go back to black, so we now named it the Orange Jaffa. So she's orange, but she stands out.
Mate, I love it. I don't like black boats, I like bright boats, so I'm all very happy with it. And racing for Mum and Dad this weekend must be emotional for you?
Yeah, mate, the passing of Mum and Dad so close together. They were definitely an avid supporter, as you well know, within the sport. They supported, my racing for the last 25 years. So, we've got a bit of a note on the back of the truck to Mum and Dad, which we run every day in our business. And, it'll be good first time since Mum and Dad's passing. So we wish they were here. Dad's last race before his passing was here. So, should be a good weekend, but we'll be doing it for Johnny and Barb's.
I reckon you'll have some extra people on board this weekend, mate, so good luck.
Thanks very much, Dave.
Thanks, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in. Oh, I'm back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here to very wet and soggy Geelong. And we've got race boats going out onto the water, so it's a little bit of a, what my mother would say, a suck it and see situation here, because we're going to actually have a look and see what the visibility is like for the competitors on the sighting lap. So sighting lap's going to be the thing that will determine whether we will actually head up and go racing in this one or not. Organisers always have safety as first priority. So we bring the boats down, we've got the start boat, the white pointer start boat, and we're going to do this sighting lap, and once we've done the sighting lap, a couple of the competitors have been charged with making that decision. Ultimately it's all about the competitors, whether they feel comfortable running in the conditions or not. As you can see, visibility is reasonably poor, however we can see the whole race course from race control, so from that perspective we probably can run a race, but it's certainly going to be up to our competitors at the end of the day. They're the ones that get to decide. So we've got the three categories out there. We've got the Super V85, I think a lonely Sam Livesley again. has been the last man standing again after round 2. He was the last man standing after round 3. Again, he's the last man standing in the Gone Mental, which is a ski racing boat there. Sam's done a fantastic job in that boat. Then we've got our Supersport 85 boats, Special Edition and Colonel. Colonel on the outside with the Kellys. Uncle and nephew combination of Matthew and Jason Kelly. On the inside there, it's Mark and Mel. And then our Supersport 65, we've got Risky, Cardiac Arrest, Valentis and Nutcase. Working from the outside in. So we'll be listening in for our radio here now and just seeing what the competitors think about the situation. Personally, I think it's probably raceable, but hey, I'm not out there, so... Your helmet fogs up a bit in these conditions too. It's never a fun time. Now, for those of you watching at home, or if you're here and you've got your phones, jump on board. I know I've just shared it through to Bisho Media. I think it's gone through to GP Hydro live streaming as well. But the moment from the sting was absolutely massive. It was as close to a backwards blowover as you'll ever see. It actually went up vertically on the rooster tail of the Mantis. It actually spun in midair and backed itself in, and the fact that it landed the right way up is an absolute miracle. So, in fact, having a look now. So, this is the onboard footage if you're watching from home. Boat is actually vertical there. Corkscrews around and then turns itself around backwards. And Carl Wall and Mike Ratcliffe, you can see them in the cockpit there. And that was a wild ride for those boys. Disappointing for them in the championship chase. But the good news is they're all okay, and the boat looks like it'll obviously need some pretty close inspection, I would suggest. But looked like certainly didn't have its side torn out or anything like that, which is the potential to happen in those sorts of incidents. So pretty strong boat, that one. Rolfie Stanisic, the man from All the Talk Photography, best in the business, is here, and he got the whole sequence as well, so make sure you jump on the All the Talk Photography Facebook page. If you haven't liked it already, you've got something wrong in your head, get on there. You'll see all the best powerboat racing shots on the planet. Okay, well it looks like, and the conditions have actually cleared very nicely other than maybe the very top end of the course. Competitors are happy. White flag drops and we are racing in here round number 3 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships for Hornet Property Services. Down the front straight away we go. The 65 boat's a long way back. So our Super V 85 and our Super Sport 85, and it is the Colonel Racing who gets the lead into turn number 1 into Motec straight away. So it's Colonel back to Special Edition. Sam Lyson leading the arrangement in the Super V 85, the only ski race competitor left running. He runs up into 3rd place, but you can throw a blanket over these three as they charge up the front. Motec straight away. Up into the top turn they go, and it's pretty tight. The Colonel only leading the bare minimum. Sam Lisley, look at this. He has a bit of a cheeky look up the inside there, so he's dropped in out of pole 3 into pole 1. Hops into Mark the Russian's wash. And now sets off in hot pursuit. So back straight away for those guys up into the MSC Signs dog leg. I tell you what, folks. And I know we're focusing in on the 65 on your screen at the moment, but I'm looking across. I think the Colonel, someone's gone the wrong way. The Colonel has gone the wrong way. We pick him up. The Colonel has made a navigational error. And you can see the boys, the Kelly boys, will be absolutely livid with themselves for that one. They've let everybody through, and that now sets them back. They actually do find the turn boy ultimately, but they've gone the long way round, and that has set them back an absolute mile. So Jason and Mick Kelly will be kicking themselves. Right, let's have a look at the Super Sport 65, and lead boat at the moment is Harry the Boatman Backer and Shane Payton in the nutcase, doing a beautiful job. Running into second spot there, just trying to pick up, I think it's the Cardiac, no, it's the Valentis. Running into second spot. And then the Cardiac Arrest into third, and Risky into fourth place. So, 65 category race. Oh, have a look at Cardiac Arrest. Big chine walk there, up on its side, working overtime. And Captain Risky himself, Mr. Mark Swain, with his beautiful wife Laura. Running up into third spot there. And these boys will be kicking themselves. The Kelly boys took off in the wrong direction, and it's set them way back in the field now. And this won't do Special Editions Championship aspirations any harm at all. Colonel currently leading the championship. So as we watch Shane Payton and Harry Boatman Bagger, they are being challenged here by Paddy and Mick Pachowski, and I tell you what, a few hand signals coming back and forth between these two crews as well. It's absolutely on in this Supersport 65, and the conditions are starting to come back to the racecourse now, with the visibility absolutely spot on. It's actually cleared probably even better than it was this morning now, so a good call there by race organisers. And this is Nutcase and Valentis having a ding-dong as they fire down the front straight away. Valentis there, the Pack boys, the Pachowski boys. Michael and Paddy. Now we're looking at Risky and Cardiac Arrest just running through there. Cardiac Arrest with Charlie Diorio. And of course Greggy Walters. Risky coming through, getting the job done nicely. They're still developing this boat after it had a very, very big rebuild after crashing here last year. And this is our first time back for that boat, so it's nice to have them back on the water. absolutely dynamic. Down the Motec front straight away, Sam Lisley pushing along hard. In the Gone Mental, the twin Lysome supercharged boat. And then Colonel Racing. These boys are playing catch-ups now after getting a little bit lost on lap number 1. Race leader Mark the Russian. Doing it very nicely indeed. Mel Nelson, his navigator and partner. Hopefully the relationship survives. Powerboat racing. At the back door at the moment, and it is championship leader and race leader here. Harry Backer and Shane Payton in the nutcase, the Razorcraft. Harry is the manufacturer of these Razorcraft boats. Does a beautiful job, and definitely out there testing and proving his hulls. Similar story with the boat behind him there with Michael and Paddy Pachowski. And they seem to like to signal each other as they come out through that top turn. A few hand signals going backwards and forwards. I don't think they're friendly gestures either, just quietly. There may be the bird involved. So Valentis and Nutcase. Nutcase on the inside, Valentis on the outside. Having a look at the rest of the field coming through there. It's getting pretty crowded down the Hornet Property Services Straight. As we have a look at Mark the Russian there in Special Edition running around the outside. On the inside is the cardiac arrest. And then Sam Lisley in the Gone Mental. Those twin Lysome superchargers. Colonel Racing now. Trying to make up this ground. And the Risky Machine with Mark and Laura Swain. Mark and Mel in the Special Edition now, just heading up into the MSC Signs Dogleg. Doing that very, very well. Battles going on all over the course here. The Nutcase and the Valentis still going out as they go up into the MSC Dogleg as well after having a very, well, the start for these guys was a fair way back, so they're doing a great job. Cardiac arrest there, and then we've got the Colonel trying to come around the outside of them on the right-hander. So the 85 boat starting to put laps on the 65 boats now. That 20 mile an hour certainly makes a big difference. So back straight away now, and it is Mark the Russian and Mel Nelson in the Special Edition. Storming hard down the back straight away.
Jackson leading out right at the moment. These are the guys that are trying to catch him after a navigational error. The Colonel, the 24-foot Supercat, now down through the bottom turn. Sam Lisley, the only ski racer that's still going after 2 hard weekends of offshore powerboat racing. Plenty of them came, only one remains. The Colonel, Jason Kelly and Mickey Kelly run around the outside. Nutcase on the inside. Valentis running through there as well. The Pachowski boys trying to make up the ground there. It looks like they're just struggling a little bit to bridge that gap. Cardiac arrest there with Greggy Walters and Charlie Diorio. They coming down that front Motec straight away. Charging down the Horner Property Services straight away here. Well, we've adjusted our time on your screen for those watching at home now, so 7 minutes 5 seconds left to run. In the Gone Mental, Sam Lisley. It's an F21 force hull. Twin superchargers on this boat. And a very, very quick machine indeed. Tony Dempster does all the spanner work on that boat out of Bendigo in Victoria. And the Colonel trying desperately to bridge the gap, but I tell you what, you just can't make those mistakes, especially in these speed limited classes. It's not like you can just put the hammer down and go. You can't break out over that 85 mile an hour bracket or you are out. So, Mark Pajewski, Mark the Russian, goes up through the MSC Science dogleg, and all he needs to do is keep it tidy, sit on his 83, 82 miles an hour, and I don't think the Colonel will be able to catch him. Have a look at Shane Payton. He's going off in the cockpit of the Razorcraft. He's very excited there with Harry Backer at the wheel. They're holding out the Valentis at the moment, the current series champions. Not competing the championship this year, unfortunately. We're not going to see that boat at the later rounds. Cardiac arrest now, just tipping into the port turn at the bottom end of this beautiful Corio Bay course. Charlie Diorio and Greggy Walters. Captain Brisky having a clean run. They're not super happy with the boat. I did have a chat with them this morning. Those of you watching at home may have seen the interview that I did with Mark this morning, and the boat's had a massive rebuild, including a lot of fiberglass work, but they've also replaced the engine on that boat. They're now running the 250 Pro XS Mercury Optimax as opposed to the 3 litre two-stroke that they were running previously. And the boat's just very different to what it was. And they're still getting in terms with it. Mel Nelson punching the air there as they come past the front straight away, so she's pretty happy with the way things are progressing out there at the moment, with only 4 minutes and 26 seconds left to run in this one. Sam Lisley, the last man standing, again doing it beautifully. The guy on mental throws it up onto the starboard chine. Running very direct lines as Sam. I'm just looking at his wash in the down through the bottom turn there, whereas Colonel run that sweeping line. Trying to just keep the momentum up, but unfortunately they went from a rooster to a feather duster in the first lap. Kelly boys will be kicking themselves. The good news for them is they've got a little bit of a buffer in the championship, so they can actually afford a little bit of a mistake, but they won't want that to happen again. Up through the MSC Signs dogleg, Sam Lisley goes. The guy on mental doing it beautifully, and then this is this battle going on for, as the wind starts to blow and howl through. My paperwork's just gone everywhere. That could cause some issues for some of these competitors. With 2 minutes 42 left to run, it won't be long before we see our lead boat, Mark and Mel, in the special edition. And they're running around about 2 minute 35 laps, so this will potentially be their last lap, I think. Lisley goes around the outside of Risky. There's the speed difference between the two classes. Okay, confirmation from race control. Special edition are on their last lap, so we're not going to have time for the Colonel to make up any ground. It's too far gone. We hope there's no issues for special edition, but the Colonel boys might be hoping otherwise, because otherwise there's no chance they're going to catch him as he goes up through the MSC Signs dogleg. And not far to go now for Mark the Russian, Mel Nelson in the special edition. Wind really starting to get very blustery through the course now. Not really causing many waves, but it's probably blowing the boats around a fair bit, I would imagine. Sam Lisley, they're just going up the inside of the cardiac arrest machine. Diorio and Walters there. So race leader heads down into the Hornet Property Services final straightaway, and if he comes around these two boats, which I think he will, so you've got Razorcraft there, the nutcase race leader of the 65. They can't really afford to back off, to be honest. They might end up going and doing another lap here, which is probably not something they want to do. And nutcase goes through for another lap. Super Sports category. Valentis gets a checkered flag. They'll have to pull up, but Nutcase will need to do another lap. So Valentis will pull in. Special edition is done. Oh, Sam Lisley has a bit of a hook. In his final race, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Sam Lisley in the Gone Mental takes the win in the Super V85. Last man standing in that category. The hardest ski racer out of all of them. And the Colonel will come through, and that will be second place for Team Colonel Racing, and they'll be kicking themselves. Mick Kelly and Jason Kelly. Cardiac arrest will come through, and that'll be a third place there for cardiac arrest. So good run there, Charlie Diorio. You'll be happy with that. Risky will come through for fourth place with the Swains. Captain Risky himself.
Righto, rescue boats. Thanks for your patience. Let's pick up that race in. We have got one race to go. Get started on as soon as possible.
Rightio, that is it for our Super Sport and Super V category. They put on some great racing, folks. Hope you enjoyed the racing from these guys. We started with a few more than we finished with, but that's what offshore's about. It's all about getting to the finish line, and they've all done a great job. So we've got one more race to go, folks. The big boys are coming back out. 20-minute race, I believe, for those guys as well. And they'll be out just as soon as we can get these boats turned around. So stick around, folks, for more racing. This is round number 3 of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships here at windy, cold, wet Geelong in Victoria, Australia. For Hornet Property Services, we'll be back real soon.